particular actor that joined the cast, or as part of the cast, that you were most pleased to be working alongside?
I think, gosh, I think that's actually the cool thing about this last one, is that it isn't really about working with anyone else. It's really about the three of us and the three of us being together. It's not about the adult performances holding this film. It's really about our relationship. But I mean, probably Helena Bonham Carter again. You know, she's like a real fave of mine.
And you had a great scene with Helena in this movie.
Did. Yeah.
What's that like when you're with possibly one of your idols and you've got that one-on-one scene? How does that go?
It's intimidating, but it's also really fun. And Helena's like a very down-to-earth, sort of friendly person. So that really helped, and we just wanted to make the scene as scary as possible. So we had fun collaborating and figuring out how we were gonna do it.
Well, Emma, it's almost over.
Yeah.
One more film to go.
One more film to go.
Thank you so much. It's an absolute pleasure to meet you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
What's wrong with his face?
Yes, what is wrong with his face?
He came to us like that. Something he picked up in the forest, I reckon.
Ran into a stinging jinx. Was it you, dearie? Give me a wand. We'll see what her last spell was. Got you. What's that? Where'd you get that from?
It was in her bag when we searched her. Reckon it's mine now.
Put the boys in the cellar. I want to have a little conversation with this one.
Come up to me and say, Craig, you're a friend of the stars. How do you tell the difference between Rupert Grint and a stoat? It's easy, I tell them. Rupert Grint is weaselly recognised, and a stoat is totally different. Who writes this?
Rupert, lovely to see you.
And you, yeah.
Welcome to our Harry Potter special.
Great.
What's your perspective, take on the film? So when you look back at these films, for example, 5 years' time, you're in LA, you're in a hotel, these films are on the TV, are you going to put it on, look back at it and think, what?
Yeah, I mean...
What's on the other side?
Yeah. No, I mean, I haven't actually watched one all the way through for a long time.
For what reason?
No reason, really. I mean, I don't really get too embarrassed. I mean, I'm quite... It's not something that I'm kind of embarrassed about. It's just, I don't know, it's hard to kind of relate to that little boy anymore. And yeah, it's weird.
Let's talk about the antagonism of the characters, because Ron and Harry, it kicks off a little bit over a certain young lady, right?
It does a little bit, yeah. Yeah, for Ron, there's a lot going on really in his head. I think now we've kind of left school, the world is a much kind of scarier, darker place, and Ron's scared and he's paranoid and doesn't trust Harry, and yeah, and he struggles with the jealousy as well, because obviously Harry and Hermione are getting quite close.
Let's talk about the jealousy, because there's one particular scene where Harry and Hermione, you know, want to tell me about that one?
Yeah, they do. It's kind of when I'm destroying the Horcrux, it projects these kind of images, like ghost-like kind of versions of Dan and Emma, having quite a heavy kiss.
Rather it comes from your mouth than mine.
Yeah, it's quite a passionate kiss, and that's obviously something that's really going to wind Ron up, and it kind of displays all his insecurities and stuff, and that's kind of what leads to Ron.
What's it like when you guys are filming those kind of scenes?
Yeah, actually, that scene, I was supposed to kind of be present for them doing that scene, and so they could kind of play off me a little bit, but I just found it so funny. I couldn't concentrate at all. But yeah,
you get your own little cheeky kiss in there, though, right?
I do in part 2. Yeah, it was. It's very weird actually, doing that scene. Just because I've known Emma so long, and
does it just feel a little bit wrong because you know each other so well? Then
it's like I've seen her when I've grown up with her, and I knew her since she was 9, and it was just that moment when we were kind of leaning in for that kiss, and we were just laughing because it just felt so unnatural. But
so it's almost over. When you finish a movie like this, do you get a little parting gift? What's the kind of thanks very much? It's been lovely. Here's a watch. What do you get?
No, it was. I got a. They gave me the Deluminator.
Oh,
the,
nice.
the little light thing.
Does it actually work?
No, it doesn't actually
brilliant.
work.
So actually a pointless gift.
Yeah, but it's nice to have something, I suppose, from the set.
Well, part 1 is over. Part 2's out in July.
Yeah.
And then you get your life back, mate.
Great.
Pleasure to see you.
Cheers, thanks.
Mate.
I thought you knew what you signed up for.
Yeah, I thought I did too.
Well, I'm sorry, but I don't quite understand. What part of this isn't living up to your expectations? Did you think we were going to be staying in a 5-star hotel, finding a Horcrux every other day? You thought you'd be back with your mum by Christmas?
I just thought, after all this time, we would have actually achieved something. I thought you knew what you were doing. I thought Dumbledore would have told you something worthwhile. I thought you had a plan.
I told you everything Dumbledore told me. And in case you haven't noticed, we have found a Horcrux already.
Yeah, and we're about as close to getting rid of it as we are to finding the rest of them, aren't we?
So that's it for part one of our Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Sky Movie special. And I promise you in part 2, things become a whole lot clearer.